Hey there theme park fans, I'm Dan from themeparknut.com and today we're going to run through November's theme park news in a nutshell. Let's get cracking. November is usually a massive theme park news month and this year is no different. We had the IAPA Expo happening in Orlando this month and that gave us a wealth of news about the smaller parks around the US, so let's dive right into it. At the Expo we heard that Sally Corp was working on a new dark ride called Treasure Hunt the Ride to go at Cannery Row at Monterey Bay in California. Iowa's new Lost Island theme park, which is going to open in 2022, is also getting a Sally Dark ride with a trackless interactive ride called Volcanoe Quest for the Golden Idol. The new Cotterland theme park, which is at the Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas, will open a Gerstlauer Infinity Shuttle coaster called Palindrome in late 2022. Triotech has introduced a new small footprint dark ride concept called a Hyper Ride, with the first of those that's going to launch in Niagara Falls in Canada next year. Now the biggest news from the IAPA Expo was that the Legends panel was about the Universal's Spider-Man ride, where Bob Rogers typically hosts a bunch of legends from the industry to talk about a particular ride they worked on. This year's was Spider-Man, but the big news wasn't about Spider-Man. The big news was a comment, a throwaway comment, I think, by Thierry Coup, who's the current Chief Creative Officer of Universal Creative. So Bob Rogers asked what the biggest mistake the various theme park creatives had in their career and how they got out of it. And Thierry responded saying, "I wish I had stopped our senior management from building the Fast and Furious attraction." Which, yes, as I said, brought the house down. Scott Trowbridge, who was part of the Spider-Man build and's now obviously been lead on the Star Wars Galaxy's Edge project for Disney, lost it. He was cracking up on stage. So that was a great moment from the IAPA Expo, for sure. Outside of IAPA, we had Disney's Destination D23 Convention also happen in Florida this month. Before it even started, there was a bit of a ruckus around the fact that Disney CEO Bob Chapek announced that he wasn't attending. One online news outlet claimed it was because he was scared of being booed at the event, which is utter crap. It's just ridiculous news. In actual news to come out of the event though, we found out that Disney's Fantasmic World of Color and Festival of Fantasy Parade will return to Disney theme parks in the US in 2022. We also found out Epcot's Guardian of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind and Paris's Adventures Campus are going to open next summer. Disneyland is getting the Magic Band in 2022, as well as their hotels getting a new Hey Disney digital assistant at the same time. It was also announced that construction's going to begin in January 2022 on a new project to replace the old AMC theaters at Downtown Disney at the Disneyland Resort. They also announced that they're going to be publishing a book series based around SEA, the Society of Explorers and Adventurers, with the first book coming out next April. Walt Disney World's Finding Nemo musical is getting a sequel. It's going to be called Finding Nemo, The Big Blue and Beyond, which is basically going to be set in the time of Finding Dory and is a follow-on from the last musical, which is kind of cool. And finally, and completely inexplicably, churros are back. In other news outside the big conventions, Disney's California Adventure has stopped using boarding groups for its Web Slingers, a Spider-Man adventure ride, and this also happened this month for their Rise of the Resistance ride. So we're really seeing Genie Plus take over where Fast Pass and boarding groups stopped. So that's really interesting. If you haven't checked it out, go and check out Defunctland's video on Fast Passes. I'll leave a link in the description down below. It is excellent, like absolutely worth the watch. Even if you're not into the intricacies of theme park queuing, which I clearly am, and statistics, which I clearly am, It's an awesome watch and definitely worth your time investment. Other things going on this month, construction has started on Legoland's next theme park, which is Legoland Shanghai, expected to open in 2024. There's been some funny business going on with the annual passes and the magic keys for Disneyland and Walt Disney World. A month after the top tier of magic keys at Disneyland were taken off the market, the second top tier has been taken off the market as sold out, whatever that means. And for now, Walt Disney World has suspended its sale of annual passes apart from the Florida's local pass, the lowest of the tiers. So yeah, I don't know what's going on there. They haven't said at Walt Disney World that it's sold out, but they've suspended all sales for the moment, so we'll see where that goes. Legoland California announced that they're going to build the first Lego Ferrari Build and Race attraction coming next spring. Disney and Cirque du Soleil premiered their new live theatre production called Drawn to Life in Disney Springs at the Walt Disney World Resort, which is looks pretty cool. But I am a sucker for Cirque. I do love Cirque. So yeah, that looks pretty cool. Cedar Fair reported they had record third quarter revenue this year, which is surprising. Guest spending was up 29% over the same quarter pre-pandemic in 2019. Even though their attendance compared to that time was only 82% of what they had then. So, pretty incredible resort for Cedar Fair. Yeah, very interesting. Michael Hightower has taken over as the head of Universal Creative since Mark Woodbury, who was the boss of the show there, is now moving up to become the head of Universal Parks and Resorts. Six Flags has a new CEO, Selim Balassal, I'm sorry if I'm ruining that name, who was previously acting as the non-executive chairman of the board of Six Flags, so a reasonable step there. In good news for accessibility, Florida's new Peppa Pig theme park, which is going to open in February of next year, is going to open as a certified autism centre with a comprehensive accessibility guide prepared for all of their attractions. Merlin, who owns the park, is also in progress of gaining the same level of accreditation for their Legoland Florida park, which will be really, really cool. The regulatory body which gives this accreditation, which is called the International Board of Credentialing and Continuing Education Standards, has also introduced a new accessibility card for use across various international attractions. Now, it's not in massive use yet, obviously, because they've just announced it, but if it does get catches on, if it does catch on, as they're hoping it will with international attractions, it could make it much easier for families of children who are neurodivergent or differently abled to travel around the world, because rather than at each park having to prove things or show things, get special parks, they'll have something that they can use to signify this is what's going on with our family, please help us. So it looks like a really cool initiative, so thumbs up to that particular board, the International Board of Credentialing and Continued Education Standards. They've done a great job there. So if you want to find out details, there's a free application which you can do online, and it's accessibilitycard.org, and I'll leave a link to that in the description down below. And that's all the big theme park news for November of 2021. Let me know in the comments down below what exciting thing you've seen this month. Thanks for watching our November theme park news update. We'll be back at the very end of the year for a December theme park news roundup, so tune into that. In the meantime, you can check us out on Twitter at Theme Park Nut, on Instagram, Theme Park Nut Insta, or our blog is themeparknut.com. Don't forget to subscribe. And until next time, cheers.